kale into the bowl here. And it's okay if you get a little messy, you know. And make things easy on yourself. I was thought at first I was going to, you know, chop up all this stuff and everything, but I went to the Sainsbury and it was already chopped up for me. So I said, hey, just wash it and put it in a bowl and move things along and we can get things done faster as well. Because, you know, after coming home from a long day of work, you don't want to have to, you know, do a whole lot of work when you get into your kitchen, because you want, it also affects, you know, how you are preparing the food. So if you, yes. Oh, yes. And we love our brotherhood because they're always helpful. Okay. What I'm going to do first is, can you just one second. Okay. We're going to take our food processor and we're going to put cloves of garlic in here. You can do this in a food processor or you can do this in a blender, okay? We're going to take cloves of garlic. They've already been peeled. You can buy them already peeled or you can peel them yourself. These were peeled. And we're going to take about this much kale. We always like to make it a little garlicky. So we're going to take about 5 cloves of garlic and put it in here in our food processor. Okay? In addition to that, we are going to add some olive oil. This is just a mixture that you just add as sort of like a sauce to it. You know. And you, again, normally we do this in a blender, but this is what we have available today. So this is what we will use. Okay? And the thing about raw, you know, this book is just a guideline, but you know, you add your own flavor, your own spice, however you want to do it, whatever taste you like. For example, I'm not into like hot and spicy foods, but if you are into that, you know, this one in the book. This one is in the book, yes. It's called Kale Avocado Salad. Okay, so we're going to take it in our food processor. Whip it up. Got our garlic sauce here. The blender, of course, will make it more liquidy, but this is fine for our purposes here. Okay, put the spoon. And of course, the best thing about this whole presentation is at the end of it, we definitely get to taste the food. Everybody excited about that? Yeah. Okay. I forgot to do my little exercise that I normally do, you know, before we start. I want everybody to stand up. Because we got to get warmed up. I have to make sure that you're alive and that you're here, that you feel me, you know, all that kind of stuff. Okay. I want everybody to say in the loudest voice that they can, say, I feel alive.
I feel alive.
I feel great.
I feel great.
I feel wonderful.
I feel wonderful.
I love live food.
I love live food.
I love live food.
I love live food.
And live food loves me.
And live food loves me.
Okay, give yourselves a hand clap. Just have to make sure you're there. It's kind of quiet in here. Don't want this to be boring. Let's be exciting. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put all this in here. It's alright if it's going to be hot and spicy today. It's hot, so it might as well be spicy in here. Okay. Yeah, nobody be afraid. I don't eat any meat, so we're all safe. Okay. Okay, what we're going to add also next to our kale greens, just rinse and wash. Because I do this all the time, but in the book I have measurements for those who need. Okay, so we're just going to sprinkle some of this here, add some flavor. And the thing about nutritional yeast, it adds sort of like a cheesy flavor to food. You know. It's not going to make it taste like cheese, but it will kind of add that flavor to it. Now, this is a product here. Is anybody familiar with this product? Liquid aminos? Okay, liquid aminos is a product that comes actually from soybeans. And it's similar to soy sauce and tamari, but it's not. It's like a raw version of that. And what it does is it's like it has naturally occurring sodium that comes from the soybean some kind of way. It's like a big secret how they process it or whatever, but they say it's, it's organic, there's no genetically engineered things in it and everything. So we use this as like a substitute for salt in this recipe. So you just take some of the liquid aminos, and it's very salty, so you don't use a lot of it, just do it kind of in measure. I just like to do zigzags, and generally gives me a good concept of accomplishment.
In place of salt?
Yeah, use it in place of
So you
salt.
don't have to use that if you don't use salt?
Yeah, you're not going to put additional salt in here, but you still always, anything that has a salty taste, you still want to, monitor the amount that you put in there. Don't be like, oh, it's salt free. Just stuff in there, but, Okay, so we've got our nutritional yeast, our garlic, our olive oil. We're also going to put just a splash. This is already, I took some fresh lemons and just juiced them. So I'm just going to add a splash of this to the food. It's our delicious divine kale salad. It's going to bring us life and energy. So I think that splash is enough. Okay. Now we're going to put our hands in, our energy and everything. They've been washing everything. So just going to mix it in. And you just kind of mix it in like this. It's like you massage it into the food, You know how you feel after a nice massage, so the food is going to feel the same way. You have to think of food in the same way context that you think of yourself. For example, the definition or so for raw and living foods are foods. They are not cooked above a temperature of 110 degrees or so. You have to think of yourself. Can you survive at temperatures, as high as of at least 110? Can you 110 Fahrenheit? So can you survive in temperatures higher than that? More than likely no. You have brain damage at that point. You won't be able to breathe. Everything will stop working. So foods function pretty much the same way. If they're prepared at a low temperature, generally this applies a lot of times to foods that you might leave out in the sunshine, to quote unquote cook them. And that's when people want to make things like raw cakes, raw pies, raw cookies, raw burgers, those types of things. You can just put them in a dehydrator, or you can leave them out in the sunshine. And what it does is it takes the water out of it without cooking it, but the enzymes remain intact. They're not destroyed by this process. So, you just think loving, kind thoughts as you're, preparing the food. Don't think about how rushed your day was. Just think about peace and how everybody's going to enjoy the food when you prepare it. And what I'm going to do at the conclusion of each dish is I'm going to have someone taste it. So do I have any volunteers to taste this kale dish? We've got the cameraman. We've got everyone. Come on, raise your hand high. Okay. So we're going to first take my sister in the front.
Sorry. How old is the oldest person in the community?
How old is the oldest person in the community? Does anybody in the community know?
The over two.
The oldest is our oldest priest, and he's about 80. I don't know. Yeah, he's about 87.
And I just really right. And I just briefly want to mention how our elders are treated in our community. We do not have any nursing homes in our community. We treat our elders. Our elders are actually out there doing better than us. They get on the basketball court and they beat those who are younger than them. They go out to race. Look younger than them. They actually are out running marathon races and winning. They're on softball and baseball teams. In fact, we have a softball team of sisters who are averaging in their 40s, and they compete against Israeli girls on teams who are averaging in their 20s, and they win.
Absolutely. Averaging in the 40s, but it goes up to like 65. Seriously. We have pictures for those who like to see.
Okay. Our sister just tasted the kale salad, and we need her to speak really loud so everybody can hear how it's delicious. She said it was delicious. Okay, so we have